Joining us now, Steve Ronnebeck. Steve is an angel dad. Steve is also a candidate for U.S. Congress in Arizona in the 3rd Congressional District. We saw him. We were at the We Build That Wall seminar. Steve, let me turn up your mic.
Good morning, Steve.
Good morning.
Steve and I met on the Yuma border in Arizona.
Yep, we did.
Just a couple weeks ago, right?
About 3, yeah.
Yeah, about 3 weeks ago. We met with Border Patrol agents. Yesterday we had our good friend on the show yesterday talking about a little bit of what we did on the border. But for some of our listeners that don't know, you're an angel dad.
I am.
We're so sorry for your loss.
Thank you so much.
And I know that you have taken that tragedy and you're able to, tell your story to, touch people's hearts and minds all across our nation.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that, talking about the fake media doesn't want to hear our stories. They don't want to hear angel families. It doesn't fit their narrative.
Well, we have a president for the first time. We had Ken Cuccinelli on yesterday. We have a president for the first time who is taking our border situation and making it a national and international conversation.
It is.
And actually doing something about it.
The first time this has ever happened, right, where we have a president that actually is serious about immigration reform, and everything else was just playing footsie with it, driven by what we have I've called for a long time the biggest unholy political alliance in history, the Democrats that want open borders for cheap votes, and the Republicans that make believe they want security, but they want open borders for their donors on Wall Street that want cheap labor. And so this alliance has gone on, Ron, Steve, for a very long time, and finally this president is calling it out.
Yeah, well, and I mean, you think about it. This goes back decades. This goes back to even before Reagan, and they've manipulated it and twisted it, and even the Democrats over the past 15 years have said, "Oh yeah, we got to close the borders. We got to close the borders." But now all of a sudden we have Trump who's in there and it's going to close the borders. Mm-hmm. Oh no, we can't have that. It's this.
Why?
Well, because they're going to miss their donors.
Right,
they're going to miss their voters.
That's why you'll never get the establishment, Wall Street-based, Goldman Sachs-funded Republicans of Kevin McCarthy to ever back any meaningful legislation on border security, no matter what they say, because their funds will dry up. And when somebody like you runs for Congress, it scares the crap out of them because you're the last person they want in this town running around telling the truth. Steve, if you look at this fake news in the last 3 days, all decorum is gone now. Like there's not any even masquerading as real journalism has gone away. It is now an all-out assault on this president and those that are with him and believe in the America First agenda in order to stop him at all costs.
Well, I mean, okay, let's look at this. They want to impeach him because of a phone call with the Ukraine president. Okay, then it comes out that, well, wait a minute, hold on. It's not the Ukraine. It's not Trump that did anything bad. It was actually Joe Biden, and they're not even trying to cover it up. They're just continuing on. Says, oh no, it's Trump's fault. It's Trump's fault. I'm like, so you guys aren't even trying to lie. You're not trying to hide it. You're just trying to smooth over it and run on with it.
I think I saw a clip last night, Steve, with I think it was Chuck Todd, and he was interviewing someone, a Republican, who kept saying, "Well, we really need to get to the bottom of the this Biden fiasco with his son getting $3.5 million and then $1.5 billion from the Chinese." And Todd just cut him off, and he said, "We've already covered that. That's already been investigated. There's nothing there." And there's nothing there. I mean, he took $3.5 million from a government-run gas company of which he had no experience in, of which his father was negotiating money for them, of which he had never been to Ukraine, never been to the region, had no experience in it, and he got $50,000 a month. Over time, he got $3.5 million. I mean, Steve, look, don't run for Congress. Just go there and sit on their board and get $50,000 a month.
Yeah, I mean,
without any experience.
Yeah, we have so many of these Democrats right now that they have no clue other than they want to be anti-Semitic and they want to be, they don't like America. I mean, let's look at the Squad of Four. They don't want America. They don't care about America. All they care is about twisting and perverting our Constitution. We can't let it happen. Our president really is trying to fix the problems in our country. And for the first time in decades, we have somebody that wants to do that. It's follow the money.
It really. And let me read a text here. By the way, anybody wants to text in, phone lines are going to be down until Monday. Anybody want to text in 757-692-1710, 757-692-1710 for me and Martha, and we'll respond to that. Got a text here very quickly from Eric in Richmond, who says, "Good morning, John. Even Drudge carried the DNI resignation headline. Don't even bother to vet anything anymore. Like you say, that's why you tune me in to get the facts." I mean, I thought that the DNI fake news report by the Post yesterday, Steve, I just couldn't believe it. I mean, they sent something out. They gave Stephanie Grisham, the press secretary of the president, said they gave her 6 minutes to respond. She was in the middle of another phone call.
Right.
Because she's dealing with the president
exactly
in
right.
New York. Mm-hmm. She was on another phone call trying to get a meeting verified for the leader of the free world, but it didn't matter to them.
No.
So they gave her 6 minutes, and then they posted Trump's intelligence chief. This is what they post: Trump's intel chief threatened to quit if White House forced him to stonewall Congress on whistleblower. Officials say. Well, there's no official named in the story.
Not at all.
It is anonymous sources from the deep state. Then Grisham tweets out after this comes out. She says this is not true, and we would have gone on the record to say that it's not true if the Washington Post had given us more than 6 minutes to respond. I was on a phone call. Right. Then we get a statement from acting director of national intelligence McGuire, who said, "At no time had I ever considered resigning." Complete fake news, Steve.
They're making it up as they go along because they
Unbelievable.
don't have anything left. They don't. They have nothing left. What more can they do? The impeachment's not going to go anywhere.
Listen to this. We have a situation where, all of this was pushed forward without this whistleblower. Well, the whistleblower didn't even have any first-hand, first-rate, or even second-tier information, and they ran with it. Talk about judge, jury, and executioner. I mean, seriously? I mean, we're in the United States of America.
Steve Ronnebeck nailed it. Running for Congress, Arizona's 3rd district as Republican. Steve nailed it. Steve, you're right. They have nothing.
They have nothing.
Right? They have absolutely nothing. And so all they have is fake news, fake stories, and now impeachment. And I tell you what, the death knell for Pelosi staying in power, and I said this in my column yesterday, the 7 moderate Democrats who did the op-ed in the Washington Post 2 days ago, including 2 of Virginia's, Spanberger and Loria, signing on to impeachment on a fake news report that's not verified because they're petrified of being challenged in a primary by the squad people and AOC's social justice organization. I mean, they're done. Because what, Steve? What are they running on? What are they going to run on?
There's nothing left for them to run on. I mean, let's look at this. We have a Congress that has literally done nothing in 2.5 years. They've done nothing except spend money trying to get rid of a president who's doing something. Let's do nothing so that we can get rid of somebody who's doing something. It doesn't make sense. It's ridiculous. And it has to stop. It has to stop. We cannot keep going on as a country with our Congress and our lawmakers so wrapped up in trying to get rid of a man who's not a politician.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're obsessed.
They're obsessed.
They have OCD. I mean, this. I've never seen anything like this before in the history of our country. Have you?
I mean, after yesterday, there's no even pretense of legitimacy.
No.
That's really what my message is today. There's not even they were kind of trying to make believe they were still legit. Now they don't care.
No.
Now they just want this guy out at all costs, and they've thrown the gauntlet down, and that's it. Steve, we're out of time. Steve, people want more information. Where do they go?
Well, they can follow me on Facebook, Steve Ronnebeck, Ronnebeck, or they can go to Ronnebeck for Congress, which is Ronnebeck, the number 4 in Congress. I need their support. I need their help. Raul is part of that socialist democratic machine.
Right.
I need every dollar I can get to beat the machine. So anything they could help me with would be great.
All right, Steve, thank you.